capture something nice. So if you want to hear any lore, and I mean any lore whatsoever from the Fallout series, make sure you're in the Discord or you're subscribed on YouTube, because once a week I'll ask a question in the Discord, and the first person that gets it right gets to pick lore for the week, or someone who puts a comment on a YouTube video. Write it down. If it's a slow Discord week, that'll get chosen. And that'll be this week's lore. Now, like I said, I have poor time management skills, so this week's lore comes from myself, and it is on the Glowing Sea from Fallout 4. As of Fallout 4 and 2281, respectively, the in-game year that Fallout 4 takes place, the most irradiated area in all of the series, all of any wasteland inside of the Fallout universe, is the Glowing Sea inside of the Commonwealth. It's the most radiated area because of a singular nuclear warhead. It's not a traditional sea, it's a sea more of an encompassing term, meaning an area in which is blanketed in radiation. The glowing sea. Things tend to glow once irradiated. It is the host of scorched lands, radioactive pods, charred trees, dilapidated and torn asunder cars, heaps of rubble, landslides, and the ever illustrious sinkholes. The exact area of the Glowing Sea is the south end of the southern freeway that connects to the Mass Pike, which is the Mass Turnpike. And it is the ground zero for Boston. It is the area that is struck. It's what I like about Fallout 4 so much, is that in 3, you kind of get this idea that there's, like, you can go to the White House and that's destroyed. You can go to several different spots and you can kind of get the feeling that, all right, bombs hit here. There's a crater here for some reason. It's incredibly irradiated. But I like that it's one massive bomb hits an area just outside of the city of Boston, and that's what you have. And that area becomes the most irradiated area. When I found the Glowing Sea in game, I remember just playing the story mode, when they say go to the Glowing Sea, the map opens up for you in that little area. And that was such a moment for me where I was like, oh shit, there's an extra eighth of a map that I just didn't see before that I now get to go explore. And I remember like finding all of the locations in that right away. There's not many, but still finding all of the locations in that just because I was like, this is a secret piece of the map. I had a friend at the time who actually knew about it before he played the game. And the first thing he did, he left the vault and went straight to the Glowing Sea. Now, because of the Glowing Sea, there's a lot of, the Glowing Sea doesn't make sense from a realistic, our real world understanding of how radiation works. Radiation dissipates quickly. It has a half-life, especially in this sense with the type of bombs that were dropped in the Fallout universe. The half-life is very, it's not very short, because 10 years isn't a short amount of time. It's all relative, but it's not 200 years later it would still be that irradiated. That being said, I think it's super dope that rad storms exist because of the Glowing Sea itself. When weather passes through, it has a chance to become a rad storm and then make the weather itself irradiated and pass that through. Now, despite being a literal wasteland, like a wasteland in the most literal sense, life can still exist within the Glowing Sea, which I think is super interesting. Because I think it just speaks more to not just humans, but animals and just adaptation, and how if something with a pulse is resilient and needs to eat and have sex enough, it will find a way. Just regardless. Like genes are the hardest thing to kill. Genuinely the hardest thing to take down is a good set of chromosomes. Life can still exist here. There is the crater of Atom, which is where the bomb dropped. And there is the Church of the Children of Atom. Now, if you've played the Fallout games before, you probably know. A cult that worships radiation itself. They believe in the Great Divide, and they believe in a big cleanse. Not things that I would say that I myself disagree with. But not only it's Fallout, so we're going to get some irradiated creatures of various sizes. So what you can find in there inside of the Glowing Sea is deathclaws, rad scorpions, bloatflies, blood bugs, stingwings, ghouls, and mole rats. Pretty much everything you can find not in the Glowing Sea, but a little more dangerous. Also, because it is a sea, a metaphorical sea of radiation, it gives off 10 rads a second opposed to the 3 rads a second that 1 to 3 rads a second that you can usually accrue in the regular schmegular wasteland. Because of this, because of it being destroyed and all of the buildings being dilapidated, torn down, there's just giant heaps of rubble. Because of all of this, there's almost no food, there's no water, there's no medicine, there's almost no ammo whatsoever. What's there is there, and it's not much. It's one of these areas that the only thing I really feel I could cleanse at this point in time is a Gek. If you got a Gek there and you set up shop, it could cleanse the area, but other than that, you're kind of screwed. Now, I get all of my lore off of Fallout.fandom.com, the Nukipedia, if you will, and just a few things I have for you here on my telephone, my cell phone telephone, I would like to share with you real quick. The Glowing Sea itself is an area that you'll visit for main quests. Just quests in general, a loose end, Hunter versus Hunted, Liberty Reprimed, the Glowing Sea, the Molecular Level, and Virgil's Cure. Some of the locations you could find: the Atlantic offices, the capsized factory, some caves, the crater of Adam, the decayed reactor site, the edge of the Glowing Sea itself, Forgotten Church. I remember the Forgotten Church. I like the Forgotten Church a lot. The O'Neill family manufacturing. There's a red rocket in the Glowing Sea. Skylines. I remember this one a lot. Skylines Flight 1665. A wrecked plane, which I really enjoyed the idea of, like, bombs are going down, EMPs are going off, planes are falling out of the sky, because that's just what would happen. I think it's interesting. There's some Astounding Tales, some Tesla Science magazines, U.S. Covert Ops, 2 Gauss rifles, Virgil's rifle, which I don't think I have in my game. A bunch of other fun stuff. It only appears in Fallout 4. There's not even on the wiki any sort of fun facts for it. It's just an area that I remember fondly. I remember finding it and being like, this is really dope. Like, this doesn't have to be here, and it's here. Like, it's the idea of, like, I can go visit the spot where the bomb fell. Like I said before, in Fallout 3, you can go to the Capitol building, you can go to the White House and see, oh, this is where the bombs fell. And it's just a massive crater. And if I remember correctly, it's not just one big crater. It looks like several craters, and you get a radiated tell instantly. But it's just one of those things that it's like, how would radiation affect things in the long term outside of mutation? One of my favorite things I've ever heard about radiation is radiation doesn't kill you, just kill you. It kills you and the next 4 generations because of how it mutates your DNA. And to see that happen physically, to have like a physical representation of what that would feel like, what that would seem like, what that would be like in these games, always made me smile. I have fond memories of the, real fond memories of the Glowing Sea. I really do enjoy it. It's really all I have for you on the lore this week. So that, my friends, is this week's lore. Hey, hi, it's Vince. I hope you enjoyed that video you just watched. If you'd like to support in any sort of way, in the description below there's links to my Twitter, the show's Twitter, and the Patreon. You could support at any level, and you could be on screen like some of the names are currently. I hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching, and if you get a chance, check out another one of my videos. I'd really appreciate it. Share it with a friend. Cool. I'll see you guys later. Be safe. I love you. Bye.